The 447th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/SGPN and use promo code SGPN for a first deposit match of up to $100. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. And finally, we're brought to you by Game Time. Game Time has last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Use promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase.
Howdy ho, degenerates. Welcome to episode 447 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. This episode is dedicated to Tater McSpadden. If you know, you know, and Gumby knows. If you don't know, you can Google Tater McSpadden. This isn't one of my Ahmed Vert type tricks. You're not going to get, hopefully you won't get anything NSFW. Yes. But anyhow, Tater McSpadden, remember the name.
That dude is going to be in, and this is maybe one of the wildest things I've ever said. That dude is going to be in one of maybe the best fights ever between two dudes who have only had 3 pro fights in their life. Like it's the best pro fight. 3 guys, three fights.
That's my co-host who's not allowed to talk yet because I haven't introduced him. The co-host on my other show does the same thing. Anyhow, that's Gumby Vreeland. Maybe we'll talk about Tater McSpadden at some point. Gumby, where does Tater fight again? I can't even remember where this fight is.
God, Tater, I don't know the answer to that. I'm gonna say Oklahoma. Do you want to look it up and see if I'm right?
Actually, where I meant where is what promotion is he fighting?
It was Fury FC, so it might be down in Texas or something like that.
Oklahoma, you're right.
Whoa, yes. Come on.
He looks so amazing too. His Tapology picture this guy is great. He's so American, Dan. They don't even have to bother putting the American flag.
Did you see the highlights that went into the Discord for him?
Yes.
Like, he's actually pretty sick. Like, I mean, he's 2-1 as a pro. Now this is the Tater McSpadden episode, but the Tater McSpadden episode could start with us telling you that there's this pro out there from Oklahoma, 2-1. Looks like he's got some real chops. Going to be fighting on Fury FC against the dude making his pro debut with like some of the best AMI background you've seen in a while. So regional MMA, hell yeah.
Yep. Tater McSpadden. We're not covering his event, Fury. Fury is a good regional promotion. And they fight on Sundays, which is another thing that might be fun for you people, especially if you're not NFL fans. So check out Tater McSpadden on Fury Challenger Series 10 next Sunday. Hopefully he's listened to this episode. Nothing but respect for Tater McSpadden. What are we talking about this week? We're talking about Cage Warriors 163 London. Pretty good Cage Warriors card, right? All things considered.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's kind of more fun on like a prospect or two that I hadn't heard of, and I watched and I was like, oh, this dude's actually kind of a lot of fun. So that's always a good time.
17 fight card. We do have some wackos, hardcores in our Discord who will be watching and betting on every one of those 17 fights, I'm sure, too, right?
Probably, yes.
And people watching on YouTube are probably wondering why are those gross guys wearing the exact same clothes as they did on yesterday's show, but here we are. We don't change. We didn't talk about your hat last episode. Gumby, is this is a new hat? We haven't seen that yet, other than yesterday.
No, just I'm going to try not to repeat. This is the Norwich Sea Unicorn.
Norwich, Virginia
baseball team out of, I believe so. Yes. I don't always know where they are. They just have to have a sick logo and a nice color scheme.
Where do you get all these hats from, Gumby? If people want to buy the hats, where do you get the hats?
I usually get them on minor league baseball website. I try to buy them right from the team. I don't know that helps anybody, but it seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Jeff Bezos doesn't get any of your money that way, right?
No, I don't think they sell. I don't think they sell MLB gear. Yeah.
Who knows? All right. So we got that covered. How did we do? How did you do with your regional picks for this past weekend that we just had? You're a killer of regional MMA. Did you kill it this weekend?
I had a
this
little bit
past weekend?
harder of a time this past weekend. There were some fights that didn't go my way. I think we wound up 4-5 with technically avoided bet on Fatima Klein in the CFFC main event. She won the title just like I predicted she would, but they changed opponents last second to somebody even more pathetic than who she was supposed to have fought. So like I think she wound up a negative 1,700 favorite by the time she fought. Which is like, I mean, I think she was negative 900 when she first posted. Yeah. So I was like, oh, it's out of proportion. And then they changed opponents and it went even further out of control. So yeah, 4-5 overall, down a couple units, I think, but overall still up a little over 12 units on the year.
Fantastic. How did Klein look? Did she
She's
pass
the real
her audition?
Deal. She's the real deal.
Is she gonna,
like
I signed or?
I mean, she's got a CFFC belt. Isn't that the criteria? Like I mean, like maybe they'll make her defend it once, but she's sort of gotten in already being, like a close training partner with Aaron Blanchfield, who's seemingly like chomping at the bit for a title shot. Might be actually getting the next one. And like, how hard would it be? We've seen it time and time again. How hard is it for sometimes, a fighter with a little bit of pull or a little bit of hype behind him, especially a young one, just walks into the boss man and says, "Hey, can I get my number one training partner on the card too? They're a CFFC champion." Like, what's the selling point in saying no there? Like, they have to say yes.
It's true. And often timing is everything, especially in the UFC. And she won a bout at the correct time. The Contender Series just ended. So she's not going to say, okay, wait around to next summer. So yeah, you don't want to win a bout right, a month or two before Contender Series, because then they'll just offer you that. So I think her timing is good here too.
I agree. Yep. She's not waiting around for Contender Series next year. It doesn't feel that way.
Yep. All right. So we shall see if Fatima Klein. Oh, how did her striking look? That's what you were concerned about mostly.
I don't think she had to use enough of it for me to feel really good. And the replacement wasn't as good of a striker as her original opponent was. But like, I think it's legit enough. Is my ending conclusion here? It looked good enough.
It looked good enough. That's what we. That's all that it's going to take, I guess. Is if it's good enough, it's good enough. All right. Hopefully this event will be good enough. Do you like your picks? We don't have any odds for it. Do you like what side you're falling on for the 5 fights we're going to cover today?
I'm going to be really interested to see where some of these lines come in, because I think I got a beat on them, and then I heard some other people's takes, and it completely threw me off. I thought I was finding value, and maybe I'm picking favorites. I'll say this: I feel good about who I'm picking in a lot of these fights, but I feel less good about where I think I lined the fight, because, like I said, I'm getting some mixed signals out here.
All right, we shall see. One place that won't give you mixed signals is Gumby knows when he knows. If you're on YouTube, you'll see he jumps in there with the graphics immediately. He knows when I'm transitioning. Maybe I wasn't going to do Prize Picks, Dan, but now I will. Prize Picks, baby, Prize Picks. That's the place to go. You can play alongside some of your favorite Prize Picks players like rapper Meek Mill and comedian Andrew Schultz. Dan knows who both of those people are. I know who one of them are. And you can find community plays under the promos tab on the app to view entries from some of the biggest names in Prize Picks community each week. If you're not familiar with Prize Picks, it's a higher and lower type of thing. You're picking higher and lower on bets. Like one of the fun ones that they mentioned, they do you can do combo plays in the specials league. Like this one is a football and basketball combo between LeBron James and Mr. Taylor Swift at 10.5 combo of 3-pointers made and receptions. So we told you to take lower on that, if that actually is a play on Prize Picks that you can play. So that's the type of thing we're talking about, higher, lower, that type of stuff. So plus Prize Picks even offers a reboot policy, so let your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For football and basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half and does not return in the second, that player is rebooted. Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy. I think I forgot to mention that yesterday, so now you know about that injury insurance policy. Gumby, do you have a higher and lower other than the one, the fabled one I just gave out?
Yeah, I'll say on Monday Night Football, I like Keenan Allen's higher than on his receiving yards. He's going to tear the Jets apart.
There you go. Who doesn't though, right? Jets aren't good, right?
They're better than the Chargers, but I think the Chargers offense has got some like sneakiness to it. So, and there's a lot more potential than they've been showing.
And I'm heavy on the Chargers on my fantasy team. So that's kind of why I'm struggling this year, I think. Go to prizepicks.com/SGPN and use code SGPN for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/SGPN and then the code SGPN. PrizePicks Daily Fantasy Sports made easy. There's going to be nowhere I'm headed next. Let's see. DraftKings, he's right. Mark your calendars because November 11th is going to be huge. I'm going to be at my cottage celebrating my son's birthday. Is that why it's huge? No. Yuri Prohashka versus Alex Pereira. They're going to face off during UFC 295. And DraftKings says only one fighter will leave with the belt. I said that's not always the case, especially with light heavyweight. But hopefully one man does leave with the belt. And hopefully that man's name is not Dana White. Hopefully it's actually one of Prohashka or Alex Pereira. Secure your victory with unbeatable offers on DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers strike now to get $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet $5. Do you have actually? I was going to ask Gumby for a DraftKings Sportsbook pick, but I will give you a pick. Go to my MMM. That's not even a word. MLB. That would be baseball. As of right now, you will see my 2024 MLB futures pick. All the odds are from DraftKings Sportsbook. Go in there and see the plays I told you to make. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I haven't written the article yet because we're recording this. I wouldn't even tell you. We'll keep the suspense there. Just read the article and you'll get some good odds there. Get in on the UFC 295 action with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. Download the app now and use code SGP. New customers get $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet $5. That's code SGP only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Now for the fun part. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resorts, 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario, so my name is void. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/MMA. Terms for eligibility and deposits, restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Joel on the Hockey Gambling Podcast did the ad reads in character the other day. It was he had an accent. He was acting like some football coach. I probably should know, but I'm Canadian, so I don't know college football coaches. But yeah, it was quite entertaining. That's a good listen.
Hockey guy was doing college football coach.
Hockey. Joel is big on betting college football as well, so he was doing a fun accent. They have a game where whoever loses the picks for the week has to do the ad reads. So
I like it. I like rotate
through. Yeah. It's a fun show. Make sure you listen. Every episode they talk about us, Dan. It's true. It's not a fake war like it used to be. Every episode they say you should listen to us, and they mention me. They didn't say nothing about you for some reason, which is odd.
It's because you're Canadian.
Normally, it's
talking about hockey. It's just easy to do.
It's true. Two of them are Canadian. It's true. The other one is a giant like me, so I'm connected to them all. But yeah, usually it's every Gumby, and now actually Gumby. You actually have these stats to back it up, Gumby. You're actually ahead of me now, so it's legit. People thinking Gumby's the smart one. I guess he really is. It only took 3 years to come through.
I was just honing my craft.
It was the tortoise and the hare. All right. He's much smarter than me in regional MMA. I will give him that. Maybe not. I should start making resume picks and see. But anyhow, it's the Cage Warriors 163.
Falls behind one time and he's got to start finding something.
You got to find an angle. It's true. That's what someone complained about you doing, but that's going to be now that I'm in the not the catbird seat, the opposite. Now that I'm losing, I'm going to have to come up with excuses. Gumby style.
I look forward to it. I look forward to your excuses.
Because from what I hear, you're just a big whiny excuse making guy. But Cage Warriors 163 London, no excuses here. He's going to have 5 winners for you. I wish you picked Riri Hudson in a fight. That's a great name. There's some really good names on their prelims I haven't even looked at before. Tariq Capel is a good name. Riri Hudson is a fantastic name. Flavia Zani. Do you know any of these people?
No, most of them are like 1-0 or 2-1 or that. That's why I kind of they don't have a bout order set for Cage Warriors 163. Yeah. So I kind of just went with the fights that I think will be on the main card.
Awa Sao versus Sinead Ni Nahlane. Man, there's some fantastic names, Gumby. So I'm getting them all out of my system now. We're going to go to the main card. Gumby picked the 5 fights that he likes best here. We don't have any odds as of recording, so Gumby will guess on the odds. Usually he's pretty good at guessing odds. Are you still good at guessing odds? I never check in. Are you?
Yeah, I'm usually spot on like 3 out of 5, and then 1 or 2 of the other ones I'm close on, and then occasionally one surprises me.
All right, maybe this time I'll actually get to the event. I keep starting and then fall starting. Cage Warriors 163, London, Saturday the 11th of November, 11 a.m. Eastern start time, even earlier for the Jongs of the world. So, but Jong never sleeps, so it won't be a problem. It is on UFC Fight Pass. The main card and the prelims are on there. It's going down in London, which is good because they named it Cage Warriors 163 London. The Indigo at the O2 in London, England. 17 fights in a cage. We're going to give you 5 of them. We're going to start with this one once I scroll to it. Boom, 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 boom. It's actually, you pick the fight on the prelim. No, it's the main card. The main card has got about 28 fights on it. This is a main card, 3 5-minute round welterweight fight, 170 pounds. Mateusz Figlak versus Denilson Neves. We've talked about Figlak before, right? He went for the belt last fight, I believe, and got knocked out, right?
Yeah, by Judo Jim.
Yes, by Judo Jim. All right, we're going to talk about Neves first. Traitor is a nickname, which is a common nickname. It means
tractor, right?
Correct. He's a tractor. I guess tractors are scary things in Brazil. Everyone wants to be a tractor over there.
Yeah, I think it just means big dude, right?
Like, yep, tractors and sledgehammers. They're big on in Brazil. That's all I know about Brazil. That's it right there. Neves, 16-10, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been submitted twice. This is his Cage Warriors debut. He has lost 2 straight fights. He's not won a fight since June of 2021. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get the shirt. sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. Use fight at lightweight 2013 pro MMA debut. And as I said, no odds here. Figlak, 7-2, 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. So he's been finishing both his losses. 4-2 in Cage Warriors, 5-1. Did get knocked out in his last fight. It is 1 day less than a year. 364 days. He has been on the shelf when this fight takes place. So it was last November the 12th when he got knocked out for the belt. Was a regional champion, so he does have something on his mantle. 3 inches taller than Neves. Go ahead.
I'm going to say Figlak, -300 favorite here. I think he's going to be a pretty big one. This is one of the lines I think I'm most in tune with, because some of these other ones, like I said, I think I got a semi-good beat on what they'd be like, but then somebody told me something else, and now I'm kind of questioning myself. But the reason Figlak will be so high is because I think a lot of people pegged him as a champ all along. He's got really good like switch stances and kicks and distance. He chains his wrestling together well. I don't really love his takedown defense sometimes. Like, he's good at wrestling, but like maybe not defensively. But I don't think that's a problem here. And in addition to that, like, he scrambles well enough anyway. So like when he doesn't get a takedown and he needs to change a couple together, or he gets wizard or stuff like that, like, he winds up in good positions. He does a really good job of that. And he threatens, passes, that kind of stuff. And when you look at Neves is just a guy who like throws big bombs. He's like a really plodding fighter. He's much slower. And in the last fight he fought, he landed a big shot almost immediately, kind of stunned the guy he was fighting, and then just was immediately taken down. So I think he's fighting a guy who's more elusive this time, a little bit faster this time, harder to just get that one shot on, and also just wants to do the same thing, which is just take him down. So I'm going to go big favorite here straight out the gate, and I'll take Figlak.
People on YouTube are wondering, how has Jeff not done that drink? He was drinking it yesterday. He's still not finished it somehow. It's true, though.
We don't shower. We don't shower. We don't change our drinks. I'm still on my big jug of water over here, too.
It is true. All right. So Figlak is a pick. Sadly, he thinks he's going to be a pretty sizable favorite here. All right. We're going to, here's a funny last name. It's Fanny. So we do have some fun names that we're going to do here. We're jumping up a bunch of fights here. We got someone De Silva, S. De Silva. This is the gentleman with a very long name. Shawn Marcos Claudina De Silva. Guess what country he's from, Dan?
Brazil.
Nope. Germany. He's fighting out of Germany. I'm actually not lying. He's fighting out of Germany. He has a German flag, but yeah, I'm guessing he's Brazilian of descent, or at least his family is. Shawn Marcos Claudina De Silva. And who is he fighting? He's at flyweight, 3 5-minute rounds. He is fighting Geraldo Fanny, who, that sounds like a Brazilian name as well. He's fighting from the Netherlands. So maybe he's Brazilian. I don't know. Are there Gerardos in Netherlands? Apparently there are. All right, Fanny, we're going to talk about first. 13-3, 8 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been submitted 3 times. So that is his Achilles heel, as I like to say. 3-2 in Cage Warriors. He's won 2 straight fights, though, and 4 out of 5. Of his 2 straight wins, they both come via knockout or TKO, which is impressive for a lightweight class guy like him. He has fought at bantamweight as well. regional champion. De Silva 5-0 with 3 knockouts, 1-0 in Cage Warriors. He's won 2 straight fights via knockout or TKO as well. So both these guys, they owe us rounds, Dan. Lots and lots of rounds. Makes him laugh every time still. I'm going to run it into the ground until Gumby stops.
Such a dumb sentence.
It is, but it's fun because a smart man says it. Used to fight at bantamweight, 2 years younger than Fanny, an inch taller. Go ahead.
So this is one of the ones I thought I had a good read on the line. Geraldo Fanny is a guy who I've seen fight a bunch overseas. You know, like he's a guy who's fought pretty much all over that coast, the Western European coast, and fought, you know, for a bunch of places you've heard of. He's got a really experienced record. He's going to be fighting a guy who's a relative newcomer at just 5-0 here. With I think he has just one Cage Warriors fight is De Silva, and so like I thought for sure Fanny was going to come in, you know, like negative 175 or something like that. And I've heard from some people in the know in the industry who actually believe De Silva is probably going to be the favorite here. And I'm not quite sure why they think that or why it's leaning that way. Because I think De Silva's good, and I'm actually going to pick him to win here. But I just don't see why books in the public would be lined on him, knowing so little about him and having like a really experienced opponent across from him. So if you're asking me to pick the odds, I'm going to just say pick him. I'm going to say, because I thought I had a good read on one guy being a favorite, and I'm being told the other thing. So I'll say a pick him. And the reason I like De Silva is if you've not seen this dude fight, like go back and watch his Cage Warriors debut. He's a wild man, dude. He is bouncing all around the place. He's, you know, he got some crazy movement. Even like when you watch the, you know, when they give you like the headshots and the tail of the tape and stuff like that, sometimes the little figures move, you know, like that. It's basically like a gif of the guy. He like turns to the other guy and like makes fun of him while he's in the tail of the tape, which is like really clever and fun. Like he's just a goofy guy, and he fights the same way. Like Superman punch 5 seconds into the fight, like count on it. You know, like spinning leg kick, count on it. You know, like stuff like that. He's just real weird to watch. But here's the thing I really like about him is that he has all of that really weird stuff. And then when he starts to see like either his opponent tiring from chasing him around, because he's got like an unlimited flyweight gas tank in like a wild way, when he sees his opponent start to slow down, or if by chance he catches them with a, you know, a Superman punch or a spinning hook kick, just enough to like wobble him a little bit, he turns into this like surgical striker to put him away. He like backs them up against the cage and like just picks the most perfect shots, which like, of course, begs the question, why are we not doing this all along? But he's able to turn that on. And against somebody like Fanny, who, first of all, he eats some leg kicks, and I think he's going to eat plenty of them here. And I think when he gets into those firefights or those bad situations, I actually think that's when Geraldo Fanny looks the worst. He starts to get a little bit less technical. He starts to look a little bit worse. So Fanny has only really lost to wrestlers in the past, guys who can like use their grappling on him. But I think the fact that this guy is so unorthodox in De Silva, and he's a kind of guy who really capitalizes when his opponents are hurt, I think it actually plays really well into this fight. So I'm going to go with De Silva here. Hopefully as a dog, but probably a pick'em.
Gumby actually talks to people. Hear that? He talks to people about Cage Warriors. That's probably what separates you from other people making picks in general. You actually talk to people about Cage Warriors.
I do. I like Cage Warriors.
All right. What about the fact that he had to grow up with the last name Fanny, so he probably had to fight a lot growing up? Does that not play into this?
Does that mean the same thing in the Netherlands? I don't know.
Yeah, probably not.
If he was in England, maybe that's an issue.
It's true. It's true. One thing that plays no matter where you are is game time. Did you see that segue coming? There he did. Game time is the place to go for last minute ticket deals. I say it's a place to go for anytime ticket deals. Game time's the place. It's the fastest growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. Get images of your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds, 2 taps and you're set. Tickets are sent directly to your phone, so you never have to dig through your email. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And Hall of Fame bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Used to be game limes, but it's changed. It's now game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea in a Hall of Fame at Bet's revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right. Speaking of researching, did you have to do a lot of research for fighters on this card, or are these people that you know going?
I think I'd say about 1 out of every 2 guys. I had to at least remind myself of who they were.
Yeah.
The De Silva one, I was not really familiar with him, but man, was he fun.
Good. Good to see. Hopefully he didn't trick you into picking him, but we shall see. We got a fight here. This is flyweights? No, it's not. Is it? Yes, it is. Flyweights again. Tom Creasey versus Amir Malekpour. So Creasey is from the Great Britain, the UK. United Kingdom is the flag that he flies. Amir Malekpour is from Sweden. I will tell you about him first. He is 5-2, 2 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. So he's been finishing both his losses. 1 no in cage warriors. He's gone 3-0 with 1 no contest over his last 4. 2 straight wins via knockout or TKO. So we got some killers at flyweight on this card. He's not lost a fight since September 2021, and he used to fight at bantamweight. Creasey, the Boom, is the nickname. 5-1, 2 knockouts, 1 submission, 1 no in cage warriors, 4 straight wins. He's not lost since September of 2017. Gumby, when you had 0 kids at that point, didn't you?
I did. Yep.
0 children. The good old days. 0.0. Creasey, 2 years younger than Malekpour. Go ahead.
So this is Tom Creasey, the younger brother of Sam Creasey, for those of you who are wondering. And I think that name alone is probably going to give him a little bit extra bump in the odds too. Make him a little bit bigger of a favorite. I thought, just based on skill and resume, probably negative 175, add the name in, might be worth another 25 there. So we'll say negative 200 even for Creasey. And I'm going to go with Creasey here. What I like about him, like a really nice, like simple jab and a nice straight. He does a good double leg. He's got some nice wrestling and positional jiu-jitsu. I don't like that he doesn't really go for it all that much on the feet. That worries me a little bit. That he's just like, couple of jabs and a straight, kind of just hanging out, happy to be there on the feet. And there's no like urgency to go to the wrestling. So it's not even like he's just like trying to set things up and he's planning on going, to do more later. It's just like, he's comfortable. He's like, that's the kind of fight he thinks he's going to win all the time. And Malekpour is definitely throws harder and commits more to his strikes, but I think he's so much more sloppier. So I think you're going to see Creasey just moving out of range every single time he throws one of those big shots. He's going to eat a ton of jabs, like a lot of jabs. And Malekpour has got like good wrestling too, but it's all body locks. And I just don't think he's going to get in on those against Creasey, because Creasey, I think, is just going to dig for the underhooks in the smart way and get himself out of there. So yeah, I think Creasey is probably a pretty clear favorite pick here. I think he's a pretty safe one, and I'll take him in this one.
Do you, if you got in a fight, would your odds be boosted because of your brothers as well?
I don't think so. One's a college football coach, so maybe if it was a fight over who's better at college football, that would help. But otherwise, no, I don't think so.
All right, we're jumping way up to the co-main event. A name you may know, Darren Stewart. He is fighting against Edilson Franca. So we got Brazilian in Franca. We got an Englishman in Darren. The dentist Stewart. We're going to tell you about his opponent first. So Franca. Oh, this is a catchweight fight. 195 pounds. Actually, it's not even catchweight. I guess it's just 195 pounds. Do you know why it's that right in between middleweight and light heavyweight?
Well, how is that not catchweight? It doesn't have a name.
Yeah, I guess no, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't say catchweight on the on Tapology, but I guess technically this would be a catchweight.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I have no idea why it's there. Darren Stewart doesn't want to cut Darren Stewart doesn't want to cut the last 10 pounds.
Yeah, both guys have fought at both weight classes, so I don't think it'll make much of a difference. Franca's nickname's Veneno. We haven't had that one before. Veneno. Do you know that word in Portuguese?
I do not.
Poison. He is poison. He's 10-8, 8 knockouts. He's been knocked out 6 times, submitted once. So kind of kill or be killed situation with this gentleman. This is his Cage Warriors debut. Win, loss, win. He did win his last fight via TKO. However, he has gone 2-3 over his last 5, and he's been around a while. 2011 was his pro MMA debut. Darren, the dentist Stewart, 15-9 with 2 no contests, 8 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once, submitted twice, 7-2 in Cage Warriors over a bunch of stints, 3 stints technically. You remember the weird time where, I guess it was during pandemic, where he actually had a fight in Cage Warriors while he was working for the UFC?
Yeah.
What's that?
He just
they like loaned him or something? It was weird.
Wanted to be active, and the UFC's like, we don't care.
So anyhow, he's been good in Cage Warriors, 7-2 overall. He's won 3 straight fights. Not so good in the UFC, 5-7 with 2 no contests over his UFC stint. Was a regional champion, 1 inch height on Franca. Go ahead.
So obviously being a UFC veteran, Darren Stewart's going to be a massive favorite here. And I think way bigger than he has any business being, because like, if you look at how these two fight, Darren Stewart is a power puncher who has suddenly decided he likes to wrestle sometimes, inexplicably likes to wrestle sometimes. Nobody really knows why. Franca, big, wide power puncher who actually can wrestle a little bit, like maybe a little bit better than people would expect him to be able to. So I think we see two guys who fight pretty similarly in this way. Do I think Darren Stewart's a little bit better? Yeah, I do. But I also think these odds are going to come in at like Darren Stewart -600 and like a +500 return on Franca. So I'm going to say, for my official pick here, pick Edilson Franca, mostly just because I'm not paying that kind of chalk on Darren Stewart at -500 or -600. I think that's going to be roughly where he comes in, maybe worse. And I think Edilson Franca's got a chance to tag him and put him away. So again, do I think Darren Stewart's a little bit better? For sure. I think the price will be ridiculous. So I think like a little bit of a sprinkle on Franca is definitely worth your time.
And what number did you say we were going to get for Franca? Hopefully,
I said +500 at least. Like, I mean, he's fighting a UFC guy and nobody's heard of Franca. So like, yeah, +500, +600. I wouldn't surprise me to go even higher. And yeah, like it's two guys who are both like sloppy power punchers who think they can wrestle sometimes.
Hopefully Stewart does not have the antidote to the poison, right, Gumby? Ha ha
Okay.
ha. I thought that joke up minutes ago too. That's the thing about it. All right, we'll go to the main event. Cage Warriors vacant welterweight championship. Tell us who the former champ was at welterweight. That
vacated, that'd have been Reese McKee, right? That's the last one who vacated it. Reese McKee, I'll say.
Okay. That sounds about right to me. We got Omiel Brown from England versus Giannis Bachar from Greece. We know that because Giannis is a famous basketball player. That's the only reason how we know that name. All right, we're going to tell you about Bachar first. He is 8-2 with 7 knockouts. He's been submitted twice. So that's the only way he has lost is via submission. 1 no in Cage Warriors, and he's already in a title fight. He's won 7 straight fights. He's not lost since June of 2016. 2 straight wins he's had via knockout or TKO. Regional champion, 2 inches taller than Brown. Brown, 6-2, 4 knockouts, 2 submissions. So he's finished everyone. He himself has never been finished. They owe us rounds, Gumby.
No giggle, slight smile.
Yeah, you snickered. 6-2. So all of Brown's fights have been in Cage Warriors, so he's fought at a high level the whole time. He's won 4 out of his last 5, including his last fight, which he won via knockout. Break it down.
So I think from what I'm hearing, this is another one I wasn't quite sure on. I thought the champ would be a favorite for sure. And I'm actually hearing from some people they expect him to be an underdog. So this is another one where maybe my read originally on the line is somehow skewed. And it could just be because Brown is only won 1 fight in a row here. And he's in a title fight in, if you look back at Bachar's most recent fights, he looks powerful. Looks like he can really put people away. He knocked out Carlo Pedersoli from guard, which is a pretty impressive thing to do. But the thing I really like about Brown in this fight is, first of all, I think his scrambles and his wrestling put him in a good position to succeed here, because Carlo Pedersoli had success against Bachar when it went to the ground. Like he took him down a couple of times, was in a good spot. Obviously, he got reversed and wound up being ground and pounded out, but I don't think a Carlo Pedersoli is being particularly good on the ground. So Omiel Brown is more powerful. I also think Omiel Brown is just going to be so much better in the striking. like I think the power's there. I think his athleticism getting in and out is better. I think there's so many different reasons why he gets the Bachar. So I think the recent loss maybe is skewing the number if Brown does come in as a dog, because I thought for sure he'd come in as a favorite. So we'll see what that happens come fight time. But I even liked Omiel Brown if he was coming in at like -150, -175. So if it is anywhere near dog money or in dog money, Omiel Brown's a good play here.
What do you predict is going to be official prediction?
Let's say pick him, because again, if I had it on one side, in my the people who are giving me the knowledge are on the other one, it's pretty safe to say we'll go right down the middle. That's how we'll
I need to find out who's giving you the knowledge here off air. Who's giving Gumby the knowledge?
Yeah, we can do that. We can talk about the knowledge later.
They're saying pick Oatmeal Brown. It's Oatmeal. It sounds like Oatmeal Brown. Don't tell him I said that. I don't want to get knocked out. Okay, let's recap. Omiel Brown, Franca, Da Silva, and Figlak, and Creasey in there as well, right?
That's correct.
All right, we did it. The Tater McSpadden episode is over almost. Come in the Discord for more Tater McSpadden talk. It'll be sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Twitter, SGPN MMA. Gumby runs that for us. He does a fine job on there. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox, writer on Twitter and on Instagram. Where else can you find me? You can find me on my Substack, moneymma.substack.com, where I write things and I do pick'em contests for free and occasionally do podcasts. I'm slacking off on that because I'm talking to Gumby for so long. I just don't feel like talking anymore. I should make Gumby talk more on these episodes. I know. What else can I tell you about? Gumby's got a podcast as well that I don't need to talk to. I've talked on it before, but not usually I don't have to talk on it. It's called the Top Turtle MMA Podcast. Who's on this week again?
Josh Van and John Castaneda, both fighting at MSG this weekend.
Fantastic. So listen to that and go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com for all our writing. Gumby and I are always writing things every day. Every day one of us has at least one article up there, Gumby. At the very least.
Every single day I have an article up.
Yep. There you go. Every single day. Apparently I don't have kids to feed. Gumby does. So yeah, read all their stuff. sportsgamblingpodcast.com. All our podcasts are on there. All our discounts, all our giveaways, everything is on there. And sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon for all the extra stuff. You even get to get into a special section of the Discord if you support us on the Patreon and help us crush corporate gambling. All right, Gumby, we're going to be back with the UFC pay-per-view next episode. Get us out of here. Until then.
All right, I'm Daniel Gumby Freeland. He's Jeff the Boom Fox, and we will see you on Wednesday.